That is Alistair Overeem. What kind of look are you giving there, man? That was really interesting. That says, you know, the picture says 1,000 words. What is that saying?
Well, I remember that I just won my fight against Brock Lesnar. And I think it was just a nod.
I liked it. You know, it kind of had a big statement. Speaking of painting a picture and speaking of using words, do you remember your one word that you tweeted after losing to Silva?
Arg.
Arg. Which is that still your feeling after that loss?
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is.
Are you over it?
I'm not over it. I'm not over it.
Do you feel like he disrespected you, especially afterwards, some of the things he said?
I've not paid attention to what he said afterwards. But I mean, we don't like each other. That's just the way it is, and then things get done. And yeah.
Are you 100% healed from that fight?
Yeah, I didn't have any injuries at all.
So the blows that you took, you were okay?
Yeah.
Junior Dos Santos, you will fight on May the 25th, 2013. That's UFC 160 in Las Vegas. He said, this is a quote, "Guys like me and Cain Velasquez, we are made at the gym. Guys like Overeem, they are made at the laboratory." What do you think when you hear that?
I don't know what he means by that.
I think he's probably referring to your positive drug test. Or maybe, do you think he's also just stirring it up? Because let's face it, I mean, Chael Sonnen has proven, right, that the best way to make the most money in UFC is to do a lot of talking.
Yeah, but he's not really doing a lot of talking, because when I see him face to face, he doesn't say anything.
Really?
So if he's that kind of tough guy, then say it to my face.
I would think that. What would you say to him?
Well, I've made my position very clear in the media. I'm looking forward to fight him. I mean, he's a tough guy, he's a tough fighter, and it's going to be a very exciting fight.
You famously carry a warhammer into the cage, right?
No, that was a little bit old school. I used
Right.
to do that for Japan.
Right.
For Japan fights, but now...
How come you don't do it now?
Well, it was pretty heavy.
You mean actually it was physically heavy to carry in,
heavy,
and you don't need to be tired, right?
I don't want to do that. And the other thing was I stopped doing it already in Japan when I went up to heavyweight, because I had to fly that thing in with me every time, carry it along, and yeah, it's just like I'm over it. It's old school.
What are you walking around at right now? What weight?
260, 265.
Do you have to work hard to stay there?
I have to eat a lot, do my weight training, all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. Is the key to staying in fine physical condition horse meat? Because you are a known horse meat aficionado, right?
Well, that thing is a little bit taken out of context, but I do admit I used to eat horse meat back in Holland. And I told that in the interview.
Yeah.
And then later we found out that in America it's very unusual.
It is unusual.
And sometimes illegal. But in Holland it's legal. You can just go to the butcher, you can just go to the grocery store and even buy horse meat.
So, which is kind of fun, because the joke around here is that if meat is bad, oh man, that must be horse meat. But actually, you go to the butcher and it says horse meat.
It does.
It's kind of interesting.
It does. And to add on that, in my opinion, horse meat is better protein than regular beef or pork. I don't eat pork. But the funny thing in Europe now, obviously I read the news every day of
Right.
Europe, there's a big scandal going on that they've been mixing horse meat with beef meat illegally. So it's big headlines now.
You stay right there. I'm going to tell people to go to otrtsn.ca and OTR Extended for more with this guy who's got one of the big fights coming up. Thanks for doing this.